Hello there, fellow summoners. Mad Dog HT here, and we're going into Alliance War. I'm trying to get caught up. I'm going to try to bust out a bunch of these war videos today. This is war number 8. We have Miss-Tic Dispersion defensive tactic and play along with the Alliance War Defiance attacker tactic. I will not be using any Defiance champions today. Here's a little quick preview of what you'll see. Get a little personal redemption from earlier on the season where I had a death, and yeah, I corrected that very easily, as I should have done the first place. And we got a little white Magneto action. He's getting in 2 fights this war, so we're up against D69. Quite a bit of controversy this season with them and XK9, with them swapping alliances and getting some very interesting Alliance War matchups, but we have beaten these guys the past 2 seasons and we're looking to repeat that. Here's the map that they gave us, so you can see their defense. And yeah, we're ready to roll. So as far as our attacker bans, they banned Ghost, Hercules, and Torch. I was assigned Path 7 in Section 1 and Path 1 in Section 2. I put on a White Magneto Guidance on this Longshot. I put on a Special 3 Protection Boost, plus an Invuln Boost, just in case the AI just is a little bit of a turd and be super passive with throwing specials. There will be lots of specials in this fight. Because of the power efficiency node, it costs 50% less power, so if they have like exactly 2 bars and they throw a special 2, they end up with 1 bar. So, but with the guidance, we bypass Conflictor on the stuns, and at the beginning I'm just going to do shorter combos like medium, light, medium, and I'm going to be blocking the specials, trying to parry the specials, build up rock stacks, and then I'm going to throw. I get the Unblockable. That once that falls off, it triggers the global. Gotta just be patient, and then I convert my Furies, and then we're just gonna go back at it and hope this guy throws a special. So yeah, there go 2 bars down to 1, and then you can see this guy has like max MD, so I need to be mindful of that if I have Dex on. And yeah, I'm just gonna try to be patient. I can eat some specials. I can trigger protection. I have the Invuln boost on. I just missed the Dex on that first part of the special too. It's not that big of a deal. I have that. It just eats up a Invuln boost. You can see though, Mystic Dispersion from like the Unstoppable and like the Dex and stuff pushes them to quite a bit of power. And so here I just like, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it. Full combo into special 3. He's at 25% health. We roll him into a little rock burrito, and good night. So that was plenty of damage to knock out that long shot. And probably could have been a little bit more patient, but you know, I have this Invuln boost going, and I wanted to have it active for this fight as well. This is node 16. It's got Vivified and Brute Force. We're going to apply the White Magneto Guidance pre-fight so we get the passive stuns, so that we can just guarantee we can always get the stuns and Kingpin won't shrug it off. And then we're just going to use White Magneto. So I do put on I did have some mutant boosts, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to use these. Now, earlier on the season I took this same fight, and I stuck to special 1s, and this time I was like, I'm going to try the special 2s. So basically we're just going to bait specials and counter with heavy. You know, the heavy prowess is guaranteed. You get maximum up to 3 of those, and there's a pretty long duration. I think it's like 20 seconds or something, versus I think it's 8 seconds on the standard prowess. And I only have 2 persistent charges, so my my regular hits, even on the parries, not the parries, the heavies, they will give me a chance. It's only going to be a 10% chance to get additional prowess. But yeah, we're just gonna bait out a special and then hit him with the special 2. 18k, 41k straight back to special 2. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it. And then none of those crit, and I get special 3. Now I ate one hit earlier, so I do have the invuln boost on, so this is going to do no damage. And yeah, I probably should have been more patient, and I was thinking to myself, and that special 2 just hit so well, and this is Magneto's only fight. But then after I threw the special 3, I'm like, no, I actually have one more fight with this guy. So, you know, it's a guaranteed stun on Kingpin special 3. Takes some damage. Nothing that a potion or 2 can't deal with. So we move up, and we're gonna go into section 2. We don't take this man thing, although we could have taken it with thing. But we throw in a potion into WhMags because we have another fight with him before we boost up, so we can get the max heal. I know sometimes I often forget that, but it's always best to heal and then boost. But here's the fight. So this is the fight that I died to earlier in the season. I'd never died to this fight. This fight's super easy, super simple with Nebula. You basically want to trigger Dex on purpose twice before each time he throws a special. That's going to give him forward plus E.M.P shock charges that he's going to transfer over to you, that you just turn into 20 of Nebula's charges. I put on a regen boost just because I will take some chip damage, and I have a couple more fights with Nebula this war. So there you can see I already triggered Dex. He's got 4 EMP charges, throws it, I get 20 shocks, and we Dex, counter that, boom, 20 shocks. We're just going to let those do some work. We get another Dex off. Now he's back up to 4 EMP charges. And we just need to keep an eye on Bubble Shield. That's the only real big thing here. Push him over special 1. He's very nice. Throws the special. We're just going to do a block Dex on that. Then you can see here we're at 9, 10, and then this next one's going to be unblockable. We Dex that. Now we can just go back to normal. Throw one more special from Apocalypse. We can do another block Dex. Just be super safe. And parry him. Another 20 shocks on him. And he's almost gone. I'm not running suicide, so the damage on the shocks are decent, but it looks like I needed 4 rounds of it. But super simple fight. Caught my redemption on that Apoc, and I'm still fuming that I made the silly, stupid mistake at dying to him because I mismanaged the bubble shield, and I thought I dexed the special too when he threw it, but I didn't. But oh well. So and then here is White Magneto's second fight of the war. We're gonna put on Guidance again. And we're going to put on Mutant Boost again. Unfortunately, I couldn't do the Kingpin and the Jabari fight under the same set of boosts. We still have that regen boost going. And this fight, White Magneto is probably one of, I think, one of the better options. He's bleed immune. So if you happen to get tagged by Jabari, you know, no big deal. And he's got the prowess. The prowess will remove any Huntress charges that she might build up, and you know, we don't want to dex a lot because we're going to, or dash back a lot, double dash back because of the never back down, but it's not a big deal. I mean, check out that damage. We didn't shoot back up to special 2 on this one, but ton of damage. And then we're just gonna, you know, she got some Huntress charges, but we removed them again, and then we're just gonna go full combo into another special 2. And gone. 54k crit. White Magneto, man, he's a solid champ, and that was you know, decently fast. We're gonna move up to node 40, Reinvigorated, Unblockable, Buffet over time, and Indomitable. This is a rank 4 Omega Sentinel. We're gonna put on another regen boost because I just have more of these in the inventory, and I have one more fight after this with Nebula, so I figured it would help offset any potions. And we're just going to try to hold block, get the 5 charges, the amp charges, and then after that we can just play normal. We do not want to parry her. We're just going to hard block, bait the specials, block the specials, just play super safe. Buffet is turned off when she gets above 5 or more amp charges. and then we're gonna build up to 20, get to a special 2, and then by then the damage that I've done plus the shocks getting transferred and doubling up on the special 2 is plenty of damage. And then I just also want to make sure that my dex is off, that doesn't trigger the buffet over time when I throw this. So we're gonna bait one more special, we're gonna hit her once, back off, and there we go, parry, special 2, she's gonna be roasted, and the shocks just take her out. So Nebula is such a great champ to counter pretty much every robot. And then we have a Silver Surfer on the buffet, Chitinous, Thorns, Outlast, Strike Counter, Combat Power 8. So I've taken this a number of times. This one goes really clean. This is going to go with Thing. I'm going to pretty much, I'm trying to think if I throw a bunch of specials on this one or if I ignore the Strike Counter, because really, as long as Surfer doesn't trigger his armor ups, I mean, I can't get bled or anything like that, but his armor ups are potent, and it really does mitigate like the physical damage that you would do. There we go. We got one special. Got the Unblockable that triggers the Miss-Tic. We also do need to keep in mind that Miss-Tic Dispersion Global. You know, when we trigger that buff, keep that timer in mind that, you know, everything after that is gonna miss. So there he does have 2 armor ups. So we really do want to get those off. There we trigger the Miss-Tic, kind of stalling. And so far we've actually been playing to the strike counter, and there we're at 60 Furies, so we converted max rock stacks over. And I think we're gonna want to try to get those armor ups off, and they do fall off. So then now we're hitting decently hard 8k mediums. Got another special, and as long as he doesn't have the armor ups, you know, 8k medium, that's a pretty decent hit. Deal with the Miss-Tic Dispersion miss again. Now we're just gonna smash him out. I don't think he throws any more specials or heavies to get the armor ups. Yeah, we get one more special, finish him off. That was actually a pretty clean fight. That was probably fairly ideal, minus the first set of armor ups, but Thing easily takes down Silver Surfer. And then my last fight of the war, we're going over to the right side on the island. We got this Dragonman. He's on the safeguard node. Vigorous Assault doesn't come into play because Dragonman's not going to get a regen buff. And we're going to go with Nebula. So Nebula is pretty awesome because in addition to turning off Miss-Tic Dispersion, the global, with 5 or more charges, she will also turn off the MD Miss-Tic Dispersion Mastery when she's at 5 or more. So we not eat the special, but we take the special into the block. We get the power gain off, and then we're just gonna fight fairly normal. We're gonna get back up to a special 2. This is what's gonna be kind of weird, and I don't know if this is the way it should work, but I had dexed before I had gotten, I think, the precision buff and the 5 charges, and you're gonna see here, I think I'm gonna bait a special, no, and then right there I was gonna go for a special 2, and the miss triggers even though I had shut it down. But when I had released all those shock charges, somehow underneath the code was saying, hey, we still have the miss active. I didn't even have a precision active when I was releasing that special 2 in that combo. So I was like, okay, that didn't work as intended. But we're back up to over 5 amp charges. We got the special 3 off, and we're getting shocks on him. We transfer a whole bunch. We're getting a whole bunch back. We're gonna whole block, make sure we have over 5, and then keep going at it. I think this time around I will transfer on a special 2, or maybe I'm not even sure if I actually attempt it. I'm trying to think. Maybe I do. I think I do finish with a special 2. But I just thought it was interesting that the miss triggered, and I think here, I think I'm gonna, do I get a parry off? Yeah, so there it didn't trigger. So kind of weird, but then I got pushed to special 3. So I wasn't able to deliver the L2, but that's fine. The shocks will end up killing her with the combo, and so longer than anticipated, but Nebula quite easily takes down Dragonman. And then the last thing as far as my war goes, I do move up. Oh, here I'm like, redemption. That's from killing the Apoc earlier on. That was all on one big run, all at the same boost and stuff like that. But my last assignment is because I took the Kingpin and the Jabari. Even though my white Magneto is unawakened, each time I defeat a champ, I do get 1 persistent charge, so that gave me 2 extra for the map. So I put on my 4th guidance on the boss, which is a Rintrah. And then here we're just going to showcase the boss takedown. J Goody 723, he's going in with his rank 4 Spider-Man 2099. He's got the full synergy team with Scorpion and Anti-Venom. So it gets the Wither, and then you can just hit into the block. But the one thing that he does make a little mistake here is that, you know, when you hit Rintrah and he gets like 10 plus charges, you can go unstoppable and unblockable. You got to knock him down. So the plan was to hit more into the block. But yeah, so I think he's gonna start countering his specials and his heavies with Spider-Man's heavies to bring down his little mystical charges. Also, J Goody is running suicides, which is gonna basically let him heal for the whole fight, plus have 60% extra damage. You know, with the True Strike on the boss node, you know, killing Spider-Man 2099 is like super difficult. Although I think if Rintrah were to connect with a special 2, I think there could be a chance that could do major damage and probably even kill Spider-Man 2099. So he throws on a couple more special 2s, gets the Withers back on, he's going to be hitting into the block, and then he's just going to be countering specials and stuff to keep those mystical charges with his heavy down. Because if you knock him down, he will lose those charges. And yeah, so he does have the Scorpion synergy in place, so whenever you have a Wither on, if you hit into the block, you get an additional like 50% chance to get additional Withers, which is pretty powerful. And this was the first war that we actually used that. And it, you know, in talking with J Goody, he's like, yeah, a lot of the fights that I took, they just made it so much more simple and quick, just because the damage that you get from the ruptures is pretty insane, especially at max sig. When you have a bunch of ruptures on and you cross a bar of power, you can really get a ton of damage. So yeah, you can see that he did get hit towards the beginning and whatnot. He's gonna get hit here, but overall, like, the damage that he does and the mitigation from the damage that he can do, it's pretty solid. He goes for the kill and solos the Rintrah. So solid work there. We died once, they died 5 times, which is great. And you think, oh, we got it in the bag, right? Well, not so fast. Our other 2 battle groups did very bad, to say the least. We ended up with 15 deaths. And D69, they got some revenge on us. We lost this one. We're going to drop to 4-4. And it drops us 5 spots in Masters. We went from 12 to 17. As far as my war goes, 7 fights, 7 kills, no deaths. I'm up to 53 fights on the season with 53 kills and 1 death. And yeah, not a good result for us. And so we've lost the first 2 wars of this 3rd week of the season. and we need to win some so that we can just kind of solidify that spot in Masters. That's kind of always that's our main goal, is to get Masters, whether it's top 10 or not. It's just Masters is the goal, and then wherever we can fall from there. But yeah, we definitely have some work to do to make sure that we can secure that spot. And then here's the items. So I just had to boost twice. So I used 2 sets of like 20% boost and then 15% health and attack twice. Used 1 invuln, 2 regens, just to kind of keep Nebula topped off from some of the chip damage that she'd take. And a couple of the mutant boost. A small amount of potions, nothing too crazy. But this war wasn't too terrible for the fights taken. And you know, even though I took 7 fights, which isn't like too crazy, but it's a little bit more than average. It's nice that I could split it up pretty much between all 3 of the champs that I brought, which helps with the item use. And then here's my little collage of champs used, champs defeated. Added 2 fights to Thing, 3 fights to Nebula, she's up to 6, and 2 fights on WhMags, so he's up to 4. And then, you know, more Longshot, more Surfer, Kingpin. My first Omega Sentinel fight in season. I've taken an Omega Sentinel a few times in the off season, but this was the first time in the season, so that was kind of cool. And it was a rank 4, so Nebula, she just does so good. But thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully some of this video helps you in your Alliance Wars. And thanks, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.